So recently they started a suspect test on this Pokemon, Zamazenta Crowned. And I wanted to go and it was in Ubers before, and if you still if I validate this team, you can't have more than one Pokemon, but yeah. But it is in they're suspect testing it right now, which if you don't know what a suspect test is, they try something out in the tier to see if it's broken or not. So either that can be a Pokemon that was already in the tier, like Cinderace, was suspect tested and was banned, or Magearna, or Shifu, single strike, right? Or it can be they bring something down and they suspect test to see if it's fair. For example, this mod came from Ubers down to OU to see if it fits in the tier. So I want to go into why not only do I think it fits in the OU tier, I think it actually is probably a UU Pokemon. Maybe even like why it's not good in OU, let alone it might be a UU Pokemon. So get just to the first set here. This is these two sets. Mostly this, well, yeah, these two sets are the main ones everyone runs. Is just 3-attack Howl. This one's Ice Fang, and this one's Wild Charge. I mean, these are the people only run these sets because they can't run anything else. And if you go to the OU tier, first glance, you're like, yo, CC, Beam of Bash. No, let's look at this one. CC, Beam of Bash, Wild Charge, Beam of Bash, CC. And you're like, okay. If you feel like, wow, this can hit everything in tier, you look at its stats and you think, oh my gosh, this thing must be broken. Here's the problem. Let's go back to OU. This thing, if its Fizz Def doesn't die to one of these, and this gets Thunder Wave back. This thing doesn't die to one of these, even boosted, and it can body press back, or it can just U-turn out. If this thing outspeeds it at all times because it has to run this item. This is the main reason why it's bad as well. We'll get into that more. It has to run this item, so it can't be Scarf or anything. So because you're forced to run this item, specs this thing, just Fire Blast and just like obliterates it. If Garchomp already has his +1, or if he has +2, this thing is +1 defense from its ability, which is good, but like, if this thing is Fizz Def, it doesn't even die to Ice Fang. And if you're not running Ice Fang, you can't beat it at all, and it just Earthquakes back, and you take Rough Skin. This thing, you take Iron Barbs plus Leaf Seed, or Iron Barbs plus Thunder Wave in the Leaf Seed. This thing lives a CC and just obliterates you with Magma Storm, or if it's Scarf, you die to Eruption. This thing lives everything and just phases you out, or Earthquakes back. This thing doesn't outspeed you, but if it's Scarf, it can fuck you up. This thing will live a CC. You lower your defense, and then we'll hit you back with a Sacred Sword. And most of them are Scarf anyways, so I'll speed you. This thing probably dies unboosted, but if it's Scarf and you win for CC already, you have -1 SPDF, you get fucked up by Earth Power. Even if you run Ice Fang, this thing beats it 1v1 if you're defensive. This thing traps it, and if you're not set up, it probably can. I'm confident the Fizz Def set can live CC and you can Thunderbolt back. You can't beat this 1v1. It just keeps roosting, and then it'll foul play when you set up, and then it'll double out. This thing's too bulky. It just Earthquake back and then switches out. This can live Behemoth Mash and kill with Earth Power, get close to it. If you're not running Wild Charge, you lose this shitty ass Pelipper and you get Skull Burned. This thing shits on it with Volt Switch out one time, and then because it can't run Boots, it gets affected by hazards, come back in, Thunderbolt instead. Even Rillaboom can be used to play around it. Even with Wild Charge, this thing will just phase you out and set up spikes, and you just keep taking damage. Slowbro takes 56% from +1 Wild Charge, burns it for Future Sight. Slowking, even though this one is the SPDF version, it will still live and will still Scald Burn you. This thing is a SPDF version and will still live and can Scald Burn you or can Fire Blast, so many things. This thing eats everything. Can Earthquake, can Flip Turn Out, can put up rocks in your face. This thing can Calm Mind almost in your face if it has Draining Kiss. Specs Thunderbolt 2 KOs. This thing gets obliterated by Behemoth Bash. So, I guess there's that. This thing will live a while. I never see this one, by the way. But this thing will live a wild charge and can hurricane back. It outspeeds you though, right? Yeah, you outspeed it, which is cool, but like, eh. That's a CC. You cannot beat this mon. It will skull burn you and spam haze and recover, and you will not beat Toxapex 1v1. This thing with CC into its move, it ignores the defense boost because it crits with the water move, it 2 KOs you, and it lives everything because look at those defensive stats, bro. Volk, I don't even really need to say anything. It can quiver dance in your face and proceed to kill you or roost up. You get static, you lose 1v1. This thing outspeeds you, can chip you away with Volt Switch and the CCs. That's OU. Let alone this thing being Sash and frying you with Psychic. This thing being Scarf, killing you. This thing living and killing you. If this is Sand Rush and it's in the Sand Fire Blast, this can fuck you up. This thing can live. This thing can live. Fuck you. By the way, this launch should be OU. This thing's so good. I guess you have this unlock. Nice one. Victini. Just if he creates or blue flares or something. And then, so that's OU. And you can see the problem already. If you run Ice Fang, you can hit Dragonite, you can hit Garchomp, you can hit Powdon or Landorus. But then with no Wild Charge, you can't beat Corviknight. You can't beat Slowbro. Where's Slowbro? You can't beat Slowbro. You can't beat even Feeny. Just fizz that, just Calm Minds up, and just Draining Kisses. You definitely cannot beat Toxapex. Even if you freeze it, it just thaws out with Scald. Like, you literally can't beat it at all. It's impossible. Even at +6, I'm willing to bet Behemoth Bash maybe doesn't 2 KO. You know what? Actually, I want to look. I want to see it not 2 KO. To really just hammer this point home. But this one is not a good Pokemon in the tier. It's actually horrible. See, and the problem with this as well, this set is an uber set with Adamant. Problem is, you run Adamant, you don't run max speed, you just get outsped by so many more things. So it's not even worth to do that. So we're going to just get rid of this, and we're going to make this not timid. What is it called? Jolly. Yeah, Jolly. See how it's forced to run this stupid-ass thing? Oh my gosh, man, just 325. Hallbeam, okay. First of all, let's see Toxapex. Not how you spell Toxapex. Not how you spell Toxapex. Toxapex, okay. Oh, the packs, max, wild charge. Barely 40%. +1. 2 KOs. But let's say you do 51. Right? Let's say you do 51. This is helmet version. But let's get this black sludge. We won't even... Man, honestly, we won't even say helmet. We'll say black sludge, right? Let's say you do 51. He gets black sludge back. But let's say he skull burns you the next turn. Even if he doesn't skull burn you, he might just haze and get rid of your +1. And then now you don't kill because you're back to this. And then he recovers. Okay. +2. He still lives, goes for haze, switches out, comes back in. Still has a chance to live. But now let's say you're not running Wild Charge because your team gets fucked up by Landorus or Garchomp. Let's say you're running Ice Fang. I think you see what's going to happen here. Let's put him at max. +6. Close combat. 2 KOs. These 2 KOs. This is just 30%. Let's say this happens, right? And then let's say you get burned. Ooh, yucky. Burn. I know, right? It's horrible. Is there nowhere I can just make it so you're burned? Please tell me there is. Or do I have to, like... What? Oh, there it is, yeah. Why can't I click on it? Oh, that's stupid. I just want to click on status. Why is it at 96? What is this? What's happening? It's weird. Weird. Okay. Burn will make this. Basically, I mean, we can do this. It'll just make it base 50. This will be base, because it just cuts it in half. 65. I mean, 32.5. Okay, not 325. Actually, how much damage does that do? It still barely kills. Okay, we'll just say 32. No, to be nice, we'll say 33 because that's absurd. Plus 6. If he gets burned, even if you're at plus 6. But if you're burned, which is what this basically means, doesn't 2 a KO, doesn't 2 a KO, doesn't 2 a KO. It has less than a 50% chance to even 3-hit KO. And then he just recovers and hazes it all the way, and we're back to square one. So you don't beat Toxapex. But even with Wild Charge, for the sake of argument, just say you're burned, right? You're burned. So you're burned at plus 6 if you're burned. Plus 6, but you're burned, bro, doesn't kill. Interesting. Interesting. Plus 6. But then let's say you start running Adamant because you're like, man, I need more attack. 355 now. You still don't kill, by the way, but let's go back. 355. Let's see what now outspeeds you with that difference. This always outspeeds you. I mean, it's trying to outspeed you. A lot of these things. So, I mean, I guess actually Adamant wouldn't be bad. You still get outsped by some of the things. No, actually, yeah, Adamant wouldn't be horrible. I mean, you get outsped by Alakazam now. You get outsped by stuff down there. But even Adamant, when burned, these things don't kill Toxapex. These things don't kill Slowbro when it burns you and clicks Slack off and then future sights, or when it burns you with Scald, or when it just teleports out in the first place from +1. And the worst part about the Mon, it gets Howl. The problem with Howl is it doesn't get Sword Stance. The problem with Howl gives you +1. So this isn't like Sword Stance. You click Sword Stance 3 times. This is clicking Howl 6 times. Which means you're taking chip in between. You're taking more chances to get burned. Because you have to run Dauntless Shield, you're not getting, because you're running Rusted Shield or whatever, you're not getting Leftovers recovery back. You're just a sitting duck. And for what? To do 89.4 because you're going to get burned. So what's the point? What's the point? Then if you run Ice Fang, and so now, see, if you run Ice Fang, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You don't run Ice Fang. Landorus and Garchomp and Hippowdon, they're licking their lips right now. Nidoking, these things they're gonna kill you, literally. You run Wild Charge, right? Corviknight still beats you, by the way. Let's make that clear. I mean, now Garchomp wets you up. Landorus wets you up, bro. Garchomp comes in, Garchomp will live your move, and then just Scale Shot. And you'll take Rough Skin. And if it's defensive, you can take a Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet. Maybe it goes for Fire Blast because it's special defense, because it's defensive and it's running special. So now the +1 defense that you have doesn't matter, by the way. It's like, what's the point? And then there's this set that I've been thinking about. Let's say you run both. And now you have no CC. And, I mean, this thing can't really beat you anyways, but I mean, +6 knockoff will do a lot. No CC. Good luck fighting Heatran, man. Good luck. Good luck fighting Excadrill, man. Good luck fighting Ferrothorn. Unless you're boosted, you won't even kill Bliss and it can T-Wave you. Good luck dealing with Kartana. Good luck dealing with Zone when it sets up iron defenses and subs in your face. Good luck dealing with Melmetal. Good luck dealing with fucking... I mean, you lose to these anyways. Good luck dealing with Tyranitar. I know your Behemoth Bash, but still. Good luck, bro. See what happens. So you have to run CC. And again, it's damned if you damned if you don't. You know, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, man. So you go back to Zamazenta Crowned. I mean, what? You want to run Crunch for Slowbro? And, like, I don't know, man. And then it gets Iron Defense, right? So let's say, oh, man, Iron Defense, right? Iron Defense was being Behemoth Bash. And let's say if you were able to run Iron Defense, you would run Wild Charge. And I say able to run because it learns Iron Defense. And you think, oh, perfect. With this higher defense, I'll click Body Press, right? It doesn't get Body Press. Would have been Stab. You already come in with +1. You would be able to Iron Defense up. Let's say it can run this. This is not real, by the way, but let's say it could. I mean, you run something similar to what they were running in Ubers, right? You want to outspeed some stuff like this. You do one of these or something, like 100. You put the rest right here. Maybe do bang, bong. So you're 375. Speed tie with Torn. Your SPDEF invested. You already come in with +1. You would Iron Defense up and just body press. Or even if you're like, man, I don't want this HP, I still want to be good physically, attacking wise. You can run no HP even, fuck it, right? Run no HP. Or we can even run less SPDEF. So this is max, right? You're max out here, you get some SPDEF and less speed. So you live more SPDEF things. You Iron Defense up. Like this set being able to wild charge these things, and then even with no Ice Fang, because you would have +3 defense, you would beat these things 1v1. It'd be great. It wouldn't be unbelievable, but body press too, you wouldn't be lowering your defenses every time you go for your stab fighting move. And the whole point of this thing is the fact that it can be strong while still being defensive. Like, this would be a good set. Something like this would actually be pretty good, you know? Hell, you could even just say, fuck the speed, get rid of a little bit of more speed, where you still have speed Garchomp or maybe Kartana or Curums, and you have shit like that. But you're never gonna outspeed Coco anyways. So you get rid of some of that, put some more SPDEF, like let's say we go right, like what's a good place to be at? Say you go right here. Like I mean, this plus Iron Defense Body Press, this would be fine. But this set does not exist. It does not learn Body Press. And then even if you were like, you know, let me run Tech Special, 80% special attack. And it gets a lot of good special moves too. I mean, we're talking Steel Beam. And here's the thing as well, I get stuff like Substitute, but I mean, look, bro, sub, rest, Iron Defense, Body Press actually wouldn't be that bad. You would sub up your Iron Defense, you would Body Press everything with your +8,000 defense. You got low, you would just rest. And you would just switch out. Passive Wishes with something else. It actually could be pretty good. But again, if this thing had Body Press, I still think it would be OU. It'd be a lot better. But now, because it doesn't have Body Press, and because it can't do things like that, we can get into why I actually think it is going to be a UU Pokemon. Dude, this set would be so fire. Are you kidding me? But we'll delete this just because it's not real. And let's look at these OU Pokemon, right? It actually almost has a worse time dealing with some of the UU Mons as a whole than it does the OU Pokemon. Because you might be able to make some plays, get some paras or some crits, and you can work around some of these things, right? You get some lucky misses if you get a crit or something like that. You can work around. Some of these mons. You can work around some of these mons, but instead, you know, you can't. Basically, instead, you cannot work around these mons. And here's the main problem. So H slash whatever. People don't run defensive H slash. Even if you did, you can't toxic it. It's a steel type. How do you beat a Mungus? How do you beat a Mungus? Right? And I know what you're thinking. Well, Mason, you run the Ice Fang set, right? You run this Ice Fang set. Let's look at a Mungus for a second. So, we'll say Black Sledge. I get whatever. It probably runs Boots. Everything that has Regenerator runs Heavy Duty Boots. So we'll just say Boots. Regenerator. Okay. And, I mean, I don't know. Giga Drain. Maybe Clear Smog. I literally have no clue what these things run anymore. Spore. Maybe Stun Spore. You probably wouldn't run both of these. I don't know. Just imagine some stupid set. And let's literally just make it like that. Just make it full maxed out. Bulky special sweeper. Yeah, thanks. Showdown. Let's make it just full defensive. Okay, just straight up full on defensive. Um, I don't even need to calc it. I know this list +1 Ice Fang, and it just puts you to sleep. And then it can foul play. And it puts you to sleep, and then it switches. And let's add in another Pokemon. That makes this really wrap it up for me. See this ability Unaware right here? Ignores other Pokemon's stat changes when taking or doing damage. So your +1 defense means nothing. Your +1 attack means nothing. So what will it do with that? Because it means nothing. It'll run its leftovers and it'll run Scald or something. It'll run Earthquake and recover. And it learns Toxic still, right? And yeah, let's say it runs some stuff like this. It doesn't get Stealth Rocks, I don't think. Does it? Let me see. No, yeah. I would do if it did. Oh my gosh, it'd be so good. So it'll run this set like this, and this thing is always Fizdef. Yeah, it'll be Fizdef like this. Even if we make this Spadef, this I will calc because I'm interested. Even if we make this Spadef, I'll bet a lot of money that +1 Jolly. Let's make these moves normal. Ice Fang. A move. It's not the name. Among Us? Sorry. Among Us? This is the set they actually run. Okay, yeah, this is what they actually run. Let's say, yeah, let's say they run this set. +1 has a chance to 2 a KO. This will 2 a KO. Okay, fair, fair, fair. I was just interested. So it definitely 2 a KO. Spadef. If you're Fizdef, that's cutting it close, man. That's cutting it close. Okay, but if it's already in, like if you bring it in for free, like you U-turn into it, it's just gonna put you to sleep. Because even a crit won't kill. Yeah, crit doesn't kill. Crit Ice Ring doesn't kill. Like, even a crit won't kill. Yeah, that's garbage. It just puts you to sleep. So it puts you to sleep, like I say, and then it switches into this mon. So because of Unaware, this Earthquake doesn't care about this thing's +1. Because of Unaware, this +1 close combat or Ice Fang, it doesn't care about that. Even if you freeze it with Ice Fang, Scald makes you thaw out, and it can burn you, and then it can just sit there and spam recover. So these are two mons that, when combined together, if this will put you to sleep, it just switches and doubles into this. Even if you wake up turn 1, it just, which you can't do anymore, by the way, it just fucking, this thing walls you forever. Because you can't set up and beat it. Now, if Zamazenta got a grass move, that'd be pretty fire. You got Power Whip, which makes no sense, but if it did, that'd be pretty fire. I mean, defensive Buzzwole just straight up beats it. Just straight up beats it. Even if you run Fire Fang, even if it was in this tier and it ran Fire Fang, that will do nothing. That'll do nothing. It'll just roost up and keep Drain Punching or Earthquaking. Defensive Celesteela will Leech Seed it in the Flamethrower. It'll Leech Seed on a Howl or something in the Flamethrower and will proceed to slowly beat it 1v1. 100%. Conk can definitely live and obliterate it back with like a Guts Drain Punch or a Guts CC and a Mach Punch, something like that. This thing will die, but because it Prankster, it can T-Wave in its death, and then once this thing's T-Wave, it's garbage, because let's say you have Intimidate this, outspeeds it, Garbanzo beans. Specs, Sacred Sword or whatever, Well, that factors in defense, right? So I guess you could just spec Scald for 2 KO. Defensive Como can actually body press because it's actually a good Pokemon, or you can set up in its face and like Drain Punch it all back and Flamethrower. It's never beating Moltres because it's gonna Wild Charge, not kill it, get burned, and get roosted on forever. Obviously, Quag. It can't beat Rotom Heat either because it'll just Will-O-Wisp it into Pain Split into Overheat. And kind of the same thing with Rotom Wash, except it's into Hydro Pump. I mean, it has a tough time even beating defensive Scizor. It's just like, what's that? It has a tough time with. I mean, how does it beat Tangrowth plus Rotom Wash? How does it beat Fizzy Tangrowth? I mean, Tangrowth will just keep switching out and coming back in. It'll never die. You need to set up way too much, and when you set up, you just bring Quagsire. You know, so it honestly might even be a UU Pokemon, and I don't think it'll be RU. I mean, for the sake of argument, you could say Scarf Darm will mess it up with Flare Blitz, or Gastrodon might be able to beat it 1v1, or Defensive Gillespie, if you don't have Wild Charge, can spike up and this can intimidate, and this can prankster T-Wave, and all that good shit in defensive Metagross. But I think it's, I think it's too much for this tier, right? Because it can live so many things, it's so bulky, and it can set up on most things face, and almost nothing in the tier, if anything, outspeeds it, other than like Noivern, which will do nothing. Well, actually, Noivern has Fire Blast, but like, you know what I mean. The thing is, though, I still think it's too much for this. I don't know how Zarude is down here. I think it's too much for this tier. I don't think it'll be RU. And if it ever did touch RU, it would definitely be RUBL in a heartbeat. But this is a UU Pokemon. These are its counters in U. I mean, actually, we can even make this Tangrowth. Tangrowth is a better example. Regen. And if it's just running Fizz Def, I mean, leftover / heavy duty boots. Any set you want, basically. I mean, Giga Drain, Earthquake, Knockoff, Sludge Bomb, which is probably pretty good for the tier. You can do that. I mean, you could even run Sleep Powder and put it to sleep. It never beats Quagsire ever. Like, literally, if you just have a Quagsire on your team, Zamazenta Crowned is invalidated. Unless you also then run, like, you know, what else is in UU? You know, you run your own Tangrowth, or you run, what is this shit called? Gyarados with, like, Power Whip or stuff like that. But, or Bulu. You know, Bulu plus Bulu, Rotom Heat, plus this thing in UU would be pretty good. But you have to run. But the fact that you need to run other things shows that, like, yeah, bro, this thing maybe it would be UUBL, maybe, because they could say it forces you to run Quagsire. But even without Quag, I think you still can beat it with almost everything in the tier. So yeah, I just want to talk about this thing because it's being tested in OU, and not only do I think it's garbage in OU, I think it is a UU Pokemon, and it'll be walled by this and by this Fizz Def. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, if you enjoy, obviously like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you next time. I'll be releasing maybe another Showdown video soon. I think maybe another Smash video soon. I guess my Diaz plan. I'm thinking they added free for all, so I think I might see if some people want to record some free for alls or record some 2v2s and might upload that because I think those are always fun with the boys. But if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and peace.